I'm Dayna J. Francois, and you're listening to Stirring the Plot. Whether you're gay, hot, or doing it for the plot, this is the podcast for you. We're here and we're queer, we're gay, and we slay. And they say every good story begins with once upon a time, but I think the better ones begin with I decided I was done hiding. Because storytelling isn't just a craft, it is a lifeline. It is the moment we stop being characters in someone else's narrative and pick up the pen for ourselves. It is messy and it is raw, but it is also magic. The kind of magic that rewires your brain and, if you're brave enough, your entire life. And today I have someone with me who lives and breathes that magic. Raejean. Hey girl.
What's up?
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited that you're here. I think we're going to dive into something super, super cool. I do want to give a little bit of background to the listeners. So before we jump into anything, let's have you introduce yourself. You'll start with your name, your pronouns, your sexuality, and just what's up.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Raejean Alcala. My pronouns are she, her, and to identify my sexuality, I would say I'm a demisexual. So just complicated, basically, is what that is.
No, elevated. Elevated in the mind.
Yeah.
There you go.
And I feel like to summarize life right now, I'm just really just unraveling this like crazy woman in me.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's cool because it very resonates with this chapter right now, especially with what you started with the, infinite spiral and everything like that, which is really cool. I don't know if you want to jump into that a little bit too. We could talk about it. Yeah. How I met Raejean, listeners, is through the beauty and magical place that is Buena Vida Bodega.
Yeah.
I love that. Shout out to the bodega. Shout out to Jackie. Shout out to Raejean. It is literally magic. And I'm so glad that I stumbled in there about a year ago, a little bit more than that, and met these beautiful minds, these beautiful people, these beautiful souls, these artists, and these creative, deep individuals, and created these beautiful relationships. I also love the infinite spiral that you also have taken. So I love 2 nights of the month are some of my favorite ones. So if you want to kind of talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of want to relate it to, I started the open mic one because I really wanted to cultivate being an artist.
Yeah.
And I think that's also having friends and other people who are artists around to influence you.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And open mics are great for that, but I feel like I've been to a lot of open mics that are competitive and it's like more about competing than it is about developing as an artist.
Yeah.
And that's when like the Viva La Vida came. Because it's like, can I make a space where people can develop as a person and not feel like, oh, I can only be this version of me tonight.
Yeah.
And so Jackie was in line with that too, despite me going over there every night for wine. But yeah, she was on board with that. And that's kind of how that was birthed.
Yeah.
And the infinite spiral of connection goes back to like unraveling this wild woman. Like I realized there's a part of yourself that has to develop with other women. Like you need another woman to call out your blind spots and also to hear other perspectives, and be challenged and just relate. So that's kind of where the infinite spiral came into fruition. It's a beautiful journey. It's teaching me a lot about myself. It's great. I'm happy to like build my own little like girly group. Whatever that turns into, I have no idea what it's going to be, but I'm excited.
No, I love it. I think it's magic. It's so rare to just find like safe spaces where you can just exist. What I love about the bodega, going back to that and the open mic nights, is like you said, to develop and just come as you are and just be welcomed with just open energy. But also there's something really great about, like you said, it's less about competition. I do feel like there's a lot of spaces in the poetry scene, yes, the artistic scene, where it's very like performative. And what I love about the open mic is that it's really just like coming as you are, like you said, just showing up, being your authentic self, being able to develop exactly 100%. And And that's probably why it is my favorite of all like the open mics that I'll go to or the performances I'll go and watch, just because all of these people literally just, it's very, very inspiring to be in that environment. And then as for the Infinite Spiral, it's just beautiful to just be kind of held by such strong, independent women that challenge you to kind of tap deeper and to open up and be vulnerable and hold space for each other, but then also to expand your mind in such a cool, creative way, because we do, you know, some kind of craft or something like that. And I love it.
And I just wanted to say, like, thank you for being a part of that, because you are a big part of that. I actually was talking to you about a friend earlier today about how you write poetry, and the way you do it isn't just like with the church and all that. You're not doing it in a way that's causing you to be in a box. It's like evolving out of this box is the best way I can say it right now.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
I love the way you write. You know me. I'm just like, yes, Dayna.
Thank you.
So, yeah, like you said, that space is helping people develop. And I like nurturing other women. Like, I love writing you guys letters and planning. Planning like, what am I going to do for throughout the month? What are we going to do for these girls? Like, I love cultivating that. And I get to put that somewhere instead of like the wrong friends, you know?
Yeah. No, 100% valid. So valid, so true. No, genuinely. And like, it's so rare to like, because I feel like I am someone who I'm trying to embrace that it's okay to tap into your emotions in a way that's not just like my writing. Because sometimes I feel like I only allow myself to do it through my writing. But when I go to the Infinite Spiral and I'm there, I'm kind of like, this might be vulnerable right now. I don't know. And normally my walls would go up and I would just kind of shut down. But like, I'm in this space where I feel like safe enough to like be vulnerable or share something that I normally would just be like, let me just, but I'm like, no, actually let me share.
Yeah.
Even if it's just something that is like, I don't know, I'm kind of like not sure yet. Like I haven't rehearsed what I'm going to say yet type of thing, you know? I haven't made it pretty yet, but I'm just going to share what's like on my heart right now.
That feels so good, you know, and not feel weird or someone's looking. Like everybody was in their own little world while we're just creating. And so I like that you pointed that out, because that's the goal, you know?
Yeah. And that's
you guys will be holding me when I'm crying.
we got you, because that's the space you cultivated. So thank you for that on behalf of everybody. Yeah. So that's just a little bit about our lore, how we know each other. And yeah, you are just this really inventive, amazing, like you just have this mind that just amazes me. I'm really excited that we get to dive into that today. Raejean believes that storytelling is not just about words on a page. It is about reclaiming power. It's about rewriting the script and choosing to see yourself as the main character, even when life tries to hand you the role of a sidekick. She is breaking down what she calls the power of 5 ways storytelling creates impact. And trust me, listeners, this conversation is going to reframe the way that you think about your own story. So grab your coffee or your espresso martini, your notebook, and whatever else makes you feel like the author of your own life, because we're about to stir the plot with Raejean. All right. Are you ready to dive into this?
I'm ready.
I'm so excited. Genuinely, when you told me about the power of the 5 and the overall like idea of what happens when we start seeing ourselves as the author of our own stories, I just think it's so cool that storytelling can rewire your brain and your entire life. And when you said that, I felt that like deep in my bones, you know? Before we really truly dive into the power of the 5, I want you to tell us why storytelling is your echo, your heartbeat, what drew you to it, and just like your background, your connection to writing and storytelling in your craft.
I'll start with my background, because, you know, that's really where it all, you know, grows from. That's the soil right there. And so I grew up in DCS, which is the foster care system.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're in that environment, you're told a story, like you're told a statistic, and a lot of people you're around like decide who you're going to be. That's kind of like where I would say like program started. And during that, being in that situation over the summer, we'd go to camps, and that's where a lot of creativity happened, like art, painting, and poetry.
Yeah.
And so I started to notice something at a very young age. Like every time I was vulnerable about where I was living, what I was dealing with, I would feel different. And through that, kind of was able to notice just little changes in my behavior. Like, oh, today, now that I expressed like a vulnerable moment in this poem, I didn't always share it out loud. It took me forever to share it out loud.
Yeah. No,
but
real.
And that's a different part of the power of 5. So yeah, I found out every time I wrote down my feelings, I was feeling different. Like I didn't really feel the heavy baggage of like the people I was around, the situation I was in. I was like, no, I was hopeful. I felt lighter.
Yeah.
And at the time I wasn't aware of that. I can't say I was aware of it, but I felt it. And then fast forward to a moment I'm going to share when I was, how old was I? I was like 15. I was at the Herberger Theater. I performed in front of 300 people. And it was like the first time that I performed. And it was like a very vulnerable poem.
Of course.
And so
your first time.
Dude.
Wow.
I was like, it was so weird because I never spoke in class or like the other things. I was like a little introverted to myself, girly, like really quiet, you know? Yeah. That moment that I shared it with people, you feel this like, you can say it's nervousness, but when you're an artist, and I'm sure you felt this when you perform, there's a fire. There's a fire you feel. And I performed that poem and I cried and people were snapping. But the magic of that is in that moment after I performed, there were different people coming up to me. There were young people, there were really old people, and we're just talking about the power of vulnerability and how they didn't notice me being vulnerable made them think about them being vulnerable. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, so writing has a way of like opening portals with either in yourself or other people. Yeah, I was kind of like, so I fell in love with it more than realizing like, okay, this isn't just me trauma dumping, you know, like this is actually doing something here. Yeah. And that's kind of where I started writing poems, but also I started journaling because it was hard for me to be vulnerable like in the beginning with a lot of people. Yeah.
And feeling like you're saying it to somebody. Like when you're when it's for yourself, it's easier to open up like that.
Yeah. So I started journaling because I'm like, okay, yeah, that was nice, but I kind of want to, you know, have my own privacy here. So I started journaling, and through that, I started realizing like my attitude was changing from the people I lived with. Yeah. From these staff. Like I was having an outlet to let it out and then be someone else. Yeah. And that exercise was fascinating to me. I say it fascinating now because I'm older, but at the time I didn't take advantage of like knowing that. But if I look at that pattern, like I had an outlet to put that and then show up as someone different. Yeah. Act different, think different. That's kind of where it all started, the origin, and then seeing just little windows of like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know, writing your story or singing your story, dancing or whatever is not just acting. It's more than that. Like you're literally writing a code. Ooh. Yeah.
To program your brain.
You're programming yourself.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The layers.
The layers.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So the art of storytelling, you're saying, is like a tool for your life. And I love that it's not just something that you do, but it does something to you, like you said. It's like therapy with a pen, and it can unpack what you mean. I want to unpack what you mean when you say that storytelling, it like rewires your brain and your life. So let's introduce your philosophy, storytelling, your entire perspective on life. What happens when you shift from living your story to writing it with intention?
That's a good one. Wow. Oh man, you realize how much control you have. Yeah. Like you realize you're the director, you're the main character, you're in charge of your day, you just realize how much control you have. Basically.
Actually, yeah.
And it's not something that's easy, like, oh, I'm going to write this and then tomorrow I have it. It's a process because like I said, you're stripping old programs and you're rewriting it. So I would say you just start to realize or feel more connected to yourself. And you build this verbal wall of protection that the world puts on you, society, friends. And through that wall comes this version of you that I would say just like nobody can touch. So yeah.
That's cool as hell.
I hope that makes sense.
No, I
have an ADHD brain. I'm like,
no, that genuinely makes sense. So my question to you is, do you remember a time when telling your own story shifted how you saw yourself. Like, what made you first realize that it could be a tool for your own personal transformation?
Wow. That like echoes in my brain. When I started teaching poetry is when I realized it. As I was sharing like my journey and the way I went about writing, I was watching it kind of be reflected in the people around me.
Yeah.
Or just like opportunities. So yeah, I would answer it that way. Like it's like reflected for you. Like it's an internal feeling that happens, right? Like the feeling of like, oh, I feel more connected to myself. Like I don't have to listen to these voices or programs of other people or whatever the situation is. When you feel connected to yourself, it's like your outer experience starts reflecting that. And for me, my keynote was when I would tell my stories to these children or to young adults and I would feel nothing. I'd be like scared, but then I would watch their mind change. And I'm like, oh, that's what happened to me, but I'm me.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to notice it as much until time goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm not in the same spot as I was. So I would have to say that when I was just speaking vulnerably, this is my story. This is why I started writing. And then seeing people be inspired by that or resonate with that and do that. And I was like, okay. It's like a feedback loop.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And when you see that own magic, like you said, reflected in someone else, it really can shift or open your eyes and be kind of jarring because you're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing the way that they kind of just transformed. And then it's like you're more receptive and open to seeing that own transformation within yourself. Because I think we're our hardest critics for sure.
We are.
And I think sometimes there's like a mental block that we can't see the growth in ourselves. But when we see it like reflected through somebody else, you're like, oh my God, I'm so proud of them. I should be proud of myself too.
Right. And I didn't stop through all this. I didn't really stop and just be like, you did that too. It took a while.
That part.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying I saw it in somebody else before me, but it did make me like pause and be like, wow, you did that too though.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're like in that like, let's just call it a hustle. You're in that hustle. So you don't have time to like really be like, good job, or like sit with yourself. Yeah. And so, yeah.
No, 100%. That's like making me think now. Damn girl, be proud of yourself. Because I'm like, wow, no, you're right.
Yeah.
That's amazing way to look at it. So what happens when we go from living on autopilot to actively authoring our own journey? What does it mean to become the author of your own life?
So becoming the author of your own life is about being conscious. And what I mean by being conscious is we can focus it on being intentional.
Yeah.
And it's like you want to be intentional with everything you're doing, whether that's like how you plan your day or a goal, or if you're going to a place, setting an intention like I want to go to this place and get this experience, or I'm writing this to honor this feeling, or I'm going to sing so I can feel me. You're being conscious about what's happening and you're talking to yourself in a way.
Yeah.
And so you can do this in many ways, such as like art. Art is a good way to have a conversation with the self rather than autopilot is just us acting without thinking, is that my voice?
Yeah.
Did I put that there?
Exactly.
Questioning those voices inside and then replacing them with what you want. So that voice is like, yeah, I can make a lot of money. Yeah, I can write a book. Or yeah, I'm going to go here and maybe I don't like the people, but I'm going to be the main character. I'm going to create my own moment.
That part.
Being conscious of that so you can keep creating that and block out everything else.
Yeah. Instead of just being on autopilot, you are now taking like the reins.
Exactly.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so valid and true.
Yeah.
And it's something I think that we need to like remind ourselves of too. Man, that's magic. So I'm intrigued now, and I hope you are too, listeners, because we are going to dive into the Power of 5 framework. So let's get into your philosophy, because when you first explained this to me, I was like, wait, this is it. Like you mapped out 5 ways storytelling changes everything. So let's start with the first one, awareness.
All right. So we all write with our hand. We do many things with our hands, everyone. So the first one is awareness. It is your pointer finger. It's basically storytelling rewires your brain. So your brain is literally wired for story. It's how you process your life, make sense of emotions, and build your identity. Telling your story helps you see patterns, connect dots, and turn chaos into clarity. If you want for a moment, you can take your pointer finger and just say an affirmation with me. And it's, when I tell my story, I organize my mind and reshape my life.
When I tell my story, I reorganize my mind and reshape my life.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love that.
Yeah. And make it your own. It doesn't have to sound like me. It has to sound like you, right?
Yeah. I hope that you guys are actually like saying this, because wow, that felt good.
Yes, it does, right? And so that's the first step into that's just noticing it, having awareness of what is happening.
Yeah.
The pointer finger.
That's interesting because it's almost like awareness, yes, but realizing, having that mental realization that being a storyteller, being the author of our own story can clarify in ourselves who we are and where we are in that moment. Like you said, awareness, quite literally. And so that's like a really interesting way to kind of, like you said, follow those manifestations and walk into it with awareness. You're walking into a new situation with your eyes wide open almost, you know? No, that's cool. And I think it's wild how something as simple as just being aware of it and speaking your own truth out loud can suddenly make things just click in your mind.
Yeah.
It's like finally holding up a mirror to your own soul and saying, this is what I have been carrying. So I think we should talk about the middle.
All right. The second one is your middle finger. Alrighty. So this is vulnerable plus being seen equals growth. So I kind of made it an equation. Being vulnerable builds real connections. It's like a filter with who resonates with you, who doesn't, and helps you release shame. When someone witnesses your story without judgment, your nervous system feels safe enough to heal and expand. Because a lot of times we're walking around feeling tension because they're like, oh my God, I don't want to say what I feel because, it's too intense. But when you do that and someone witnesses it, it allows your body, because your body communicates differently than your mind. So it allows your body to feel relaxed and then step into a different mode. Right?
Yeah.
And so the middle finger is the courage. So we can do the deuces. So if you're feeling like flipping someone off or a thought off, we can do that too. Put that up. And together we'll say, when I let myself be seen, I let myself grow.
When I let myself be seen, I let myself grow.
Yeah. I love the middle finger.
I mean, who doesn't? We love a good middle finger. Honestly, it's just all about stepping into like vulnerability in of itself is being courageous, and stepping into that. And I know that you and I, we both agree that vulnerability is almost as if it's like the official ultimate mic drop. Yeah. And like you said, you are almost like letting something, off your chest and you're stepping into something new and you have like the courage to do that. It's like an exhale, but it's also like a phoenix rising up, like, the beginning. And so why do you think that being seen through your story is what leads to real growth?
Because your body's emotional. It's emotional and emotions are energy in motion. So your body, to rebuild yourself, you need to put yourself in an experience, basically be vulnerable, and then let your body experience, oh, I went through that and I'm safe this time.
Oof, yes.
I'm not judged. And then when you put that program, you can keep doing that to be more you. You hold more space for more, whatever you're growing into, the phoenix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the vulnerability, and as you're letting some of that go, it's opening up and it's making room.
Yeah.
So I think that that's beautiful. Vulnerability and being seen truly are what leads you to growth. And we need to begin to be okay with like the discomfort of being witnessed for who we truly are and why it's so necessary. From your point of view, like, why do you think it's so necessary to become familiar with that discomfort and then to overcome it, to be okay with vulnerability, to be okay showing that and stepping into that courage despite despite.
You're getting to know who you are.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know your limits and your walls, you're going to follow what someone told you they were. Yeah. So being uncomfortable, we don't like it. Yeah, it's scary, but you go through it and then you're like, oh, I just found something out about myself. It's not that I'm nervous. Maybe I just need to like breathe, you know? And then I stop shaking and maybe I can sing a little longer, or maybe I can move my body a little freer. Like you're analyzing this experience and then giving yourself permission. Consciously.
100%. And someone else can see you do that.
Yeah.
And you can maybe be the catalyst for them.
Yeah.
And like, damn, she was brave enough to do that. Why aren't I?
Yeah.
Maybe I should.
And it's working. That person was inspired by you.
Yeah.
It's working. It's not something you made up in your mind. It's not something that's, what do you call it? Conspiracy. Like it's happening now
in real time. 100%. That is like, even just like a direct example of this is like people who will come to the bodega, will come to the open mics, and they'll just be there and they'll just be soaking in the magic, experiencing people's vulnerabilities. Like you said, maybe not the next time or the time after that, someone will come up to the mic and we have people who are like, this is my first time and I'm really nervous, but I'm so inspired by the people here who get up every week, every month and share.
Yes.
And it inspires me to be up here. So despite the fears, I am afraid, I'm shaking, I'm so nervous, but I'm here because you inspired me to.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And I want to bring something up I just found out not too long ago. Someone went to the open mic and seen that, and a lady that was just being a little bus nomad girl decided to move in the Garfield area because of the open mic. She was just watching people being vulnerable, and it like changed her life.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That's magic.
I know. She didn't plan on staying. She just moved right in. She tried, she did a Facebook post to see if anybody could rent her out, just because she wants to go to that open mic and like.
The magic of community.
I know.
Holy shit. That's wild.
But of all places in Arizona.
That is the thing though that I always say is that really truly is just a magic that surrounds that. And I even notice it with the people who are so curious. Walk by because they're like, what is like? It's like they can sense it, like pulling them.
It's a vortex,
100%. So I can't believe someone did that, but that's cool. Amazing. Wow, that's amazing. No, so the power of vulnerability, y'all. I just feel it so deeply, and I always say, if your story doesn't scare you a little bit, you are probably not telling the truth yet. So let us move into expression.
All right, so you guys, this is your ring finger, which is for performing equals turning emotions into power. So sharing your story out loud through art, music, poetry, or performance moves emotions through the body. Emotions is energy in motion. It's a ritual that transforms feelings into fuel and lets you step into your next version of yourself. So we're just going to hold our ring finger up, right? And say, when I express, I evolve.
When I express, I evolve.
Yeah.
That's magic too, because honestly, I think like, yes, there is something so sacred about letting your story be witnessed. It is just saying, here I am, here is all of me, and I'm still worthy, you know? And it's where the truth comes out. It's where the juiciness comes out. It's where the vulnerability comes out, and it's performing, it's sharing, it's expressing. It is just evolving. And I think it's beautiful. Wow. So here I am. I love that.
Yeah. It's alchemy. And one of the things I kind of want to highlight is like, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. Like when I experience emotions, my first thing, I'm going to talk about anger, because anger is one I'm working through right now. When I'm angry, like I don't think about getting up and dancing. I don't think about that. You know, I'm irritated. Like I just want to be in my own little world. Exactly. But if I go into anger and I'm like, I'm going to put a song on and I'm going to dance this out. I'm going to shake my body. I'm going to move my body weird.
Yeah.
Through that, I'm like, you'll get an insight about your body. You'll get where you hold anger. You'll get what anger actually looks like in your own perspective. And then instead of like keeping that inside, right, you let it out, and then you know how to deal with anger. And that goes into your art. You know, that insight goes to your art. Like, you know how to express more. Or maybe I'm dancing, or maybe I write a song or whatever.
Yeah.
So
to get it out, just to allow yourself to name that emotion and to say it out loud. and to feel it.
Feel it truly though, you know? Like really just
let it out. I love that. What is your process for moving emotion? What is your process for allowing yourself to evolve like that?
For me, I've been doing a lot of dance, and this is just dance where I'm in my apartment. I'll do like lights and I'll just play either very ambient music or just something that's just instrumental. And I'll just do whatever I feel. Like maybe I'll start shaking with my hands or like moving my hips. Like I'll just get the anger out and like, you know, stomp my feet. I'm just like, what feels like it's releasing this anger? Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that. Like I had a painting and I just threw paint. But that was in a different space. That was fun.
Yeah,
I
very expressive.
Yeah, just literally getting that out.
Yeah.
You know, and I threw paint on a canvas and just got it out. And after I'm like, wow.
And then you look at it and you're like, I can feel the emotion on that.
Yeah. And I didn't keep the anger inside. Yeah. I let it out and I'm like,
it transformed. Because it's amazing how like something that you would deem as like a negative emotion can manifest as something so beautiful too on a canvas.
Or another emotion is sadness. For me, when I'm really sad, I have a guitar and I don't play like a professional. I just go to the guitar to just play whatever and sing whatever. Yeah. It doesn't need to make sense, but it's like I'm doing something with that emotion instead of just sitting in it, you know? So
I think for me is sometimes whenever I'm a writer and I like, of course, I'll write poetry, but something that I'm allowing myself to do whenever I'm feeling some kind of emotion and I really want to work like through it is I will take that and center it into just like something creative to write. But it's more so like, I'm just going to write a short story. Yeah. And I'm just going to take it in whatever direction I feel called to. If it's a narrative, if it's just me getting my feelings out, like verbatim, almost journaling, or if it's just me taking that emotion and making it the sole introductory feeling or theme of whatever like fictional piece I just want to create. And it could be something as simple as like 200 words or something like that. But sometimes it evolves into whatever the hell like it becomes. Yeah. But it will just be me working through whatever I'm working through. And it, like you said, it manifests into something so beautiful. So I think moving that emotion and allowing yourself to evolve it can truly be art in itself.
Yeah, because I'm learning with the body, like emotions are not, your body doesn't respond to like thoughts. Yeah. Like it does, but I mean in processing. So moving around, my emotional body's processing that emotion, that it's thinking. It's like, so for me, like it's like I have to get that part out and then I can write a poem or write a song with like a more clear understanding of like what I just experienced.
100%. Because you can feel it inside you. Like whenever you're feeling overly come with like some type of emotion, you feel it in your bones. And so, sometimes you just have to get it out.
And I do want to say this, because I know the ring finger is like performing, like it's not just performing by yourself. You know, we start there, but on a stage, it's different. Yeah. So it's just like on a stage, your feeling eyes witness you let that go. And that turns into power because you're like, I leaned into more of who I am afraid to be and it's okay. And that becomes my power because it's my authenticity. Like no one can replicate me expressing like that.
Exactly. And when you're doing that and you're expressing yourself and you're sharing what you feel called to share, it is your truth. No one else can control what you feel called to share.
Exactly.
And sometimes it's like you said, I just feel like I need to express this. This is my full authentic self. This is my vulnerable self. This is what I need to get off my chest and just share. And that's what I'm allowing myself to do. I'm really challenging myself to allow myself to do that. With the vulnerability is like when I'm writing those pieces that, you know, are about like, you know, my RT or like my past with like the church or religion or like, you know, struggling with like the feelings of shame and compet or my sexuality, like all those things, and allowing it to become art, but like not just something to work through on myself, but then being vulnerable enough to share it out loud in spaces like the bodega. Wow. And just feeling the relief of doing it after, but then the magic of having someone, literally someone I don't even know, like reach out to me. Like when I get like a DM from someone who was like at the bodega and they're just like, hey, that piece you shared.
Yeah.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I get chills whenever that happens because I'm like, I was so scared to do that. But it was just like the universe confirmed that like I needed to do that because they needed to hear that too, just as much as I needed to say it.
Yeah.
Oof, the magic.
Yeah. And I feel that watching you. Even when I post you on my Instagram, people are like, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? I'm like, follow her and ask her, okay? But yeah, I mean, that's what when you perform, that's what it does to me. It helps me step into more of like my power and being comfortable and sharing my own essence, because you do that so well. You're like, this is me and this is my story, and you add your own little zestiness to it. Yeah. And I love that.
I feel like you do that too, and especially like whenever you share and you sing your music and you tell your story through song. I love when you do that. And it makes me feel like I can't sing a damn note. Like I don't know anything about
I started shower singing, so I don't know.
I'll in the shower only, in the car with the windows rolled up, volume turned up so you can't hear. Karaoke after maybe 5 tequila shots. I don't know, so I won't remember the next day. But like hearing you sing and like tell your story through song and just kind of like closing my eyes and just feeling, I'm just like really allows the emotion to like come up to the surface. So like honestly, it's inspiring, and I know so many people feel inspired because like the influx of people who come to like sing now is amazing.
Yeah. Literally snaps.
Literally. We are moving on to the pinky finger, and I think that is one of my favorite ones, so let's dive into that.
All right, so the pinky finger is storytelling integrates emotion. Storytelling helps you connect to your thoughts and feelings, activating both emotion and logic in the brain. That integration makes you feel more self-aware, more grounded, and more you. And this storytelling doesn't have to be about you. Like you said earlier, you'll write a novel, like that is helping you on so many different layers to help you express your own personal, if you wish. So with our pinky finger, the affirmation is, when I tell my story, I remember who I am.
When I tell my story, I remember who I am.
Yeah.
And it reminds you that you are complete. In any capacity, in any way that you come, you already are whole, you know, and just remind yourself of that wholeness. It's my favorite because the right story doesn't just connect the dots for you. It stitches up the wound, you know? So how do you see storytelling as a way of becoming more like whole? Complete.
So I'm going to reference what we talked about earlier of conscious living.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think storytelling is important is because we go through life. We're busy, we're building, and sometimes we are in other people's stories and we get lost. So we need to have something in our life which is reminding us who we are and checking in how we're evolving. And it's just checking in with that program, being like, okay, is this my story? Is this my character? Do I want to change anything? Storytelling helps bring your emotional, logical brain together, and then we make a decision, you know, or we express to find a new decision.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I feel like it's just like it's a regular check-in because we're changing every day.
100%.
We're evolving. Yeah. So, yeah.
And you're bringing all of these different like fragmented pieces of yourself from your own story, from other people's stories, from your past selves, your future selves.
Yeah.
All these fragmented pieces, and you are making them that is beautiful and entirely you. That is magic.
But you need to bring yourself back.
Yeah.
There's a core being that just needs to bring you back so you can remember, you know, who you belong to, which is yourself, and not get caught up in someone else's world and following something you don't like or resonate with fully.
Yeah. You are the main character and you are the author of your own story. You're not just a character in someone else's.
Yeah. So keep that pinky swear.
That pinky swear. 100%.
So we have the thumb, which is ownership. This is claiming your story equals claiming your power. So you're not just shaped by what's happening to you. Yeah. You get to shape it back. Owning your story puts the pen in your hand and reminds you that you are the author of your life. So holding our thumbs up, I don't just have a story, I am the storyteller.
I don't just have a story, I am the storyteller. Wow. I feel that.
Yeah.
Because it's like here I am showing up, realizing I don't have to apologize for the plot twists in my life because
Absolutely.
I can reclaim the narrative.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love that.
Because sometimes, like, if whatever happens in the past, we want to rethink about it now. Like, oh no, I did that. This happened. No, you're inviting that energy in now, and we need to leave that there.
Yeah.
Because can we grab the past? No, only our minds want to grab it. So we're recreating now, so we can build who we're trying to be.
To become our best.
And that's what that thumbs up is. It's like, yes, go girl.
Ooh.
Leave all that behind. Keep going.
Keep going because you got this. How do you help people step into that kind of power?
I would say just setting the example. It's the scariest thing, but I feel like people learn best not so much telling them, but literally showing them.
Yeah.
And I'm doing this in my whole life with just every time I perform, doing something uncomfortable, giving people feedback on what I see. Because I usually, when I watch people perform, because I really do like just witnessing and giving people feedback on what I'm witnessing. Like, hey, last time, your voice was like this, but this time you were like centered.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool. And so I would say embodying it is the key, but also giving people feedback that helps them understand their process. Because I feel like a lot of the time, I don't get to do this all the time, but when I do, instead of just saying, hey, good job on your poem, Dayna, just being like, hey, no, I noticed this time you were like taking breaks, your tone changed, like you're really like stepping into the essence of your story. You're like claiming it.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
Being an example.
It is really just the authorship and like claiming it, the becoming like more like in control. You are really truly stepping into that embodiment. Yeah, the embodiment, empowerment, all of that. And I love that.
And this happens alone. Like it can happen on the stage, but I mean, like, if I truly want to be this desired person, it's like, what does that person look like? Waking up as that person each day.
Yeah.
So those moments of open mic or conversation, people will feel that. And then they'll remember themselves and be like, okay, I need to go check with me. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm witnessing you and the transformation you're going through. And it's reminding me to check in with myself.
Absolutely.
And allow myself to see that in me too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is everything. Owning your story. It's like saying, I may not have chosen everything that's happened, but I get to choose what this means. So that is magic. I know that storytelling has changed my life, and I wouldn't even be here doing this podcast if I hadn't learned to speak my truth out loud. And I want you to share, if you'd like, a moment where your own storytelling just completely rewired the way that you see your life.
I would say singing. I've done poetry for a very long time, since I was 15. And singing is something that I've done alone and is the scariest part of me, because what happens in singing is like it feels like you're just constantly falling but being guided on like this roller coaster. It's like hard to describe, but yeah, singing has taught me a lot about myself. This is kind of nerdy, but however you view yourself and where your consciousness is reflected in your voice or your throat chakra. And I learned when I was singing, I was comfortable in this like lower singing tone.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's great. I love it. But it was reflecting like I was comfortable in this like masculine energy. And how I think of masculine energy for me is like never resting, like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta go. I'm like always doing something instead of just like fully allowing myself to feel and float. So singing for me has reflected just the energy I'm in on a soul level and allowed me to be more feminine. Because when you sing, it's your body's moving, your voice, you're like filling the room. Like it really made me reflect on how much of storytelling has rewired me, because I never would have thought I did that out loud. But there's something about that type of expression for me that just provides so much introspection, and it just makes me think about that time kind of wrapping towards the beginning of like growing up in DCS. Like if I would have chose what they told me or a statistic then and followed those words, I would have never got to this point of just feeling comfortable singing or poetry or painting. But it's like, why don't I feel comfortable doing that?
Yeah.
Why do I need permission?
You don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is it such a crime to just be and express however I want when the people I want around see that and feel that? And that's all I want.
Yeah.
And so singing has allowed me to meet people, Genesis, Ava, all those people that are just like still around and I'm doing this act.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to build that reality.
Yeah.
Where I'm not, just because I'm shining or being expressive, it's not like people are trying to dim that. They're trying to encourage that.
They are there being your biggest supporters.
Yeah.
Cheering you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Because that's how I am.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really like that. Like, I really want to see people be the best versions of themselves.
Yeah.
And poetry was that. But poetry, like I said, I grew up in a very competitive environment. So it kind of was like, is it safe to express vulnerability? Not this one. The one that sounds cool, you know?
Yeah.
But singing is like, it's only that raw. Because you get like when you're singing, for me, I don't know if this is everybody, but like singing is like, I can't sound like in the pretty voice all the time. It's how I feel in the moment. So today it's going to be like, you know, rusty and more like low Sade, you know, and then some days it's like real sassy, like Erykah Badu. And I'm just like, okay, so I have to literally embody this emotion.
Exactly.
Or else, you know, I've tried singing like the same. I have a song that I've written that I was trying to like perform the same one every time I went out. And that works. Yeah. But it's like a comfortableness rather than just freestyling or embodying the emotion of the moment. Yeah. So
all of that has gotten you to transform and become this magical being. Yeah. And through your philosophy, through the power of the 5, is there a final takeaway message about your philosophy that you want to shed light on to the listeners?
I would just say 2 things. The first thing is the reason why all these points, these fingers on your hand are important is because what you're creating is you. Like you have to remember that so no one else tells your story.
Yeah, it's yours.
It's yours. And I know it sounds cliche, but that's the thing about cliches, man. Like you go through life and it's like you see the layer of the cliches and you're like, oh shit, I'm right. I'm really the author. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm really the author. Like it gets deeper as you embody it more. Yeah. So I would say that. And then I wrote a little quote which says, each point is a finger. Together they form a hand that can hold, release, create, and heal. Your story is in your hands. It really is.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you guys or anybody like have doubt, like I came from a very controlled environment and used my art to program me into where I am now. And everybody can do that. And should.
And
Dude,
do.
It's important. It's like serious.
I'm going to honestly take that.
You should.
And no, because that's magic. And that is like really like a foundation to build upon. Yeah. And I think that can really, I'm going to journal about this later because no, genuinely, it's making me kind of reevaluate some things. Honestly, I feel like everyone listening needs the reminder that we are not just surviving our stories. We are curating them. Yeah. Yeah. We are creating them, drafting them, editing them, and sometimes burning the drafts that don't serve us anymore.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
especially something I want to say that's important for women, like this is really important for women, is because in each of us are a bunch of different women. Yeah. We have a bunch of different fractals. And you need to honor those fractals and give a container for each one of those versions of yourself to be expressed. Because I feel like a lot of the times we're just trying to be one version.
Exactly.
And we're so many things.
100%.
We're human, which is HUE, the rainbow. We're so many different colors and expressions.
Say that one more time.
We are human, HUE.
Yeah.
And different colors of the hue, the prism. And that deserves to be expressed as women. We need to make containers so we're not just stuck being one thing. We're being all these other different versions of ourselves and honoring that. And this is why this is important, because if you neglect one of those fractals, someone tells you how to be. Exactly. Oh, you can't be expressive. You can't dance like that. You can only be, date this person or whatever. It's like, you need to make sure you're governing those versions.
Because life and society are pre-programmed to tell you what they think is deemed appropriate for you to be as a woman.
Yes.
No, do not put me in a box. I am as I am.
Yeah.
And come as you are, all those different versions of yourself. Let every version express themselves and show up to however they all come together to complete you, to be your full authentic self. Because you are human, HUE.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're not the same every day. Women are so different.
Yeah.
Men are like the same from sun up to sundown, and even women on like bringing science in it, like on a chemical level, your body is changing every day.
Every day.
And they took us out of science because of that.
No, hell yeah.
We changed too damn much.
Yeah.
So
damn, that's so true. I feel like, I guess I would just want to say for anyone listening who is ready to pick up the pen, where should they start?
This is good. Yeah. I would say start with your name. Write down your name and what does each letter mean to you? What does it symbolize? What are some truths that come out of each letter?
Yeah.
Whether you talk about the past or you make a claim for the now or who you want to turn into the future, but start with your name and branding that through storytelling. And that can work in many ways if you're not a writer and you want to paint or you want to dance, whatever works for you.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for you to write a book about this. No, genuinely, a book.
That's
or one
the goal.
Like interactive journal type of things.
Yeah.
Like I can see that happening and I'm ready for it.
Beautiful.
I'm ready for it. What is your best advice for someone who is terrified of telling their story but knows that they need to?
My best advice, the lover you're looking for is yourself.
Oh, wow. Thank you for saying that. Like, that is so true. You got you at the end of the day, and people always talk about like wanting to work on yourself, heal yourself, show up as your best self so that you can be a good partner. Yes, that's important.
Yeah.
But like also so you can be the best version of yourself for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you got you. So the best lover for yourself is you.
That's the one that got away.
Ooh, girl. Damn. I need to remember that, especially in this season.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
This season of my life?
I'm working through it too.
Yeah?
It's live.
Yeah. That's beautiful. What would you say would be an actionable step? Like, how can listeners begin to rewrite their lives through storytelling? What is a journal prompt or something that they can do to take those first steps?
So I would say write a letter to yourself or any form, singing, and write to that version of yourself that wants to be and talk to her. A little side quest, but I wrote a letter to myself when I was 15.
Yeah.
About what I wanted my life to look like. And a lot of what I stated then came to fruition now. So I think just to take a first step, just be the author in that voice of that version that you feel and you crave inside, and allow yourself to really be there. Like when you're writing, like if you crave a certain house, feel the house.
Yeah.
And it's not just saying manifest through feel really hard about what you want for that future self. And you can just start by writing a letter to yourself in whatever way that is. Maybe it's a sorry letter. Maybe it's, a hopeful letter. Whatever that is, I would just say start there, because that's just getting the key. Yeah. It's just the key. And
you have to take the steps to unlock that door.
Exactly.
I love that. And listeners, consider this to be your sign to start writing, to start singing, to start podcasting, voice noting, recording, anything, all of the things that you've been too scared to say out loud. Just get it out, Is there any key takeaway for you that you feel called to share with the listeners? as we wrap this up?
I want to share. I know I've been hitting you guys with so many quotes. I'm so sorry. I hope that this episode that Dayna's put together can work throughout this year or whatever. But 2 things for me that I really realized during painting last night was 2 of these quotes. One is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Ooh.
And that's meta.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
The second one is if you want a journal prompt and, the letter to yourself isn't working right now, because I like options, is what are you negotiating with yourself? Because when you're on autopilot, there's something that you're negotiating. Did you check in with that?
Yeah.
So what are you negotiating yourself? What are you allowing to happen? And check in with that and just see where that goes. And don't beat yourself up if it just goes in like these random thoughts that you feel like make no sense. Write the thoughts that make no sense.
Yeah.
So you can get to the sense.
Exactly. No, definitely. True. Just get it out.
Yeah.
It becomes what it needs to become. The message is there. Just get it out.
Yeah.
And find it. Like alphabet soup.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's literally alphabet soup. That 100%. That's perfect.
That's exactly what I pictured when you said that. So
that's perfect.
Wow.
And I love that soup.
Find them.
It's my favorite. I was like, I'm finding some affirmations in here. You are beautiful. Okay.
Oh my God, you're funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Slay.
I love you. Who loves me in there?
I see you. Reveal yourself.
Exactly.
That's so funny. That's so funny. No, genuinely though.
You got to make a mess though. Oh, seriously.
Make a mess.
Yeah.
Life's a mess.
It is.
Yeah.
It really is.
And there's beauty in mess though.
Yeah. And no one can deny when someone's being vulnerable or imperfect. I feel like people respect it.
No, they love it. They love it.
Yeah.
Because you're being true.
You are.
The truth is messy.
Yeah. And people can't help but respect it. They may not like it, but it's like, you're not doing it.
Admirable as fuck.
So you can't say anything.
No, literally.
You didn't read a poem, you cannot say anything. Yeah. It's better to sit down in that chair, isn't it? But getting behind this mic is different, right?
Right. I said it.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
Mm-hmm.
And what?
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally. Not everyone's going to like what you have to say, but sometimes they need to hear it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that you need to remember. Raejean, your philosophy, your mind, your soul, everything is beautiful. Where can the listeners find you on social media so that they can follow along and they can, be blessed with your wisdom?
Yeah. So please follow me on Instagram. I am working on posting more of like insights and not just keeping it all in my journal. Okay. Yes. My name is spelled Raejean Alcala, and that's Raejean Alcala. So yeah, just follow me on Instagram. And yeah, I follow back. So
yes, follow her on Instagram. Everything's going to be linked in the show notes. Hey, if you find yourself without something to do, the third Thursday of the month, come to the bodega. Mm-hmm. If you are a woman who wants to tap into your femininity and you want to reclaim that feminine power within yourself and you want to connect with other amazing women, come to the Infinite Spiral. Mm-hmm. The bodega is magic, and I think everyone should come. So, listeners, if you feel called to join, the community is waiting for you.
Absolutely.
So again, everything will be linked in the show notes. Make sure that you follow Raejean. Make sure that you follow along with her philosophy. Try it out yourself. The Power of Five. Make sure that you listen to her podcast whenever she comes back. She has episodes out already, and. Yeah, let's just see what kind of magic you make. I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited. Here is what I hope that you take today, listeners. Your story is not a prison. It is a paintbrush. And every time that you tell it, you're not just making sense of your past, you are shaping your future. Raejean, thank you for bringing your brilliance and your heart today, because it was everything. If you are listening and this resonated, go write down one story you've been afraid to tell. Trust me, the freedom that you're looking for might be waiting on the other side of that very first sentence. Take what resonates, leave the rest, stay bold, stay soft, and keep stirring the plot. But for now, it's time to wrap up this episode. If you are enjoying my podcast, don't forget to rate it 5 stars, because it not only lets me know that you enjoy listening, but it also helps my podcast get boosted so that I can reach a wider audience. Follow at Stirring the Plot Pod on all social media platforms to stay up to date and never miss an episode. If you'd like to connect with me, I am just at Dayna J Francois on all social media platforms. I will have everything linked in the show notes. And with that being said, if you like listening, make sure that you subscribe to my podcast and tune in weekly, because I'm gay, I'm hot, and if there's one thing about me, I'm gonna stir the plot.
I love that.
Oh my God, thank you for coming. This was so fun.
Oh, this was great. Wow, Dayna. I love that ending, like stirring the plot. I'm like, that's good.
Thank you.